While modern definitions of taste center on subjective flavor, classical Ayurvedic pharmacology treats rasa as a mathematical architecture of elemental inputs. This system is codified in the Ashtanga Hridaya, specifically within the first chapter of the Sutrasthana, shlokas 14 and 15. Vagbhata's annotations map the body with the precision of a clinical schematic, identifying the invisible kinetic forces governing human physiology. By decoding the exact Sanskrit in these two shlokas, we uncover three biological laws that dictate how physical matter interacts with the human body. To translate the text accurately, we rely on the commentators Arunadatta and Hemadri, whose analyses provide the definitive decoding of these verses. Classical Sanskrit meter compresses vast clinical algorithms into single words. These commentaries unpack that density, revealing the actual pharmacology hidden within the poetry. This understanding of rasa serves as the prerequisite for treating any pathology in the Ayurvedic system. Every medicinal substance operates through biokinetic forces anchored in a physical mass, known as a dravya. The commentary categorizes these forces into 5 divisions: rasa, virya, vipaka, guna, and prabhava. Rasa is defined by the term rasanendriya grayatvat, meaning it is strictly the quality perceived by the gustatory sense organ. This identifies rasa as an immediate, localized sensory contact, separate from the deeper metabolic actions occurring in the gut or tissues. At this sensory boundary, Vagbhata outlines exactly 6 categories of taste. The commentators anchor the theoretical taste of madhura, or sweet, to the physical standard of ghee. Jaggery is also cited as a perfect embodiment of the sweet taste's heavy, stable architecture. The commentator explicitly defines the term ushana as the exact synonym for katuka, the pungent or spicy taste. This pungent taste is visually anchored to the classical reference of black pepper. Precise terminology is required here to distinguish the pungent taste on the tongue from ushnovirya, the heating potency that acts within the bloodstream. Arunadatta establishes that the biological universe is locked at exactly 6 tastes. He rejects alkaline preparations, or kshara, as a 7th taste, classifying them instead as a variation of salty. While the culinary world contains infinite flavor profiles, human digestion categorizes all incoming matter into these 6 elemental bins based on intensity and combination. The human metabolic system acts as a filter that recognizes only the elemental architecture passing across the tongue. In Shloka 14, the phrase yata purvam balavaha provides the mathematical formula for pharmacological nourishment. Bala represents the physical construction of tissue bulk, structural immunity, and ojas. These 6 tastes bestow physical strength in a strictly descending sequence. Madhura sits at the pinnacle of this hierarchy as the supreme builder of human tissue. The sweet taste is dominated by earth and water elements, which mirror the heavy, stable architecture of the human body. At the bottom of the sequence lies kashaya, the astringent taste. Astringent is described as jaganya, or the lowest for building bulk, because its air and earth elements scrape and dry the tissues. This drying effect is best exemplified by the rigid, dried fruits of haritaki. This hierarchy creates a comparative rule. Sweet is stronger than sour, sour is stronger than salty, and salty is stronger than bitter. Hemadri demonstrates this through reverse logic, noting that even at the bottom of the list, bitter is stronger than pungent, and pungent is stronger than astringent. Taste is a quantifiable measure of a substance's structural density, dictating the amount of physical mass it delivers to the patient. Shloka 15 maps how these 6 elemental categories interact with the systemic doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. The matrix of depletion operates on the principle of vaidharmya, or heterological opposition. Vata is pacified by the first 3 tastes, sweet, sour, and salty. These tastes provide the heaviness, moisture, and warmth that act as antagonists to Vata's dry, light, and cold nature. Conversely, the dense, wet mass of kapha is pacified by the bitter, pungent, and astringent tastes. Pitta's fiery momentum is quenched by astringent, bitter, and sweet. Pathogenesis follows the principle of sadharmya, or homology, where similar elements increase a dosha. Consuming sweet, sour, and salty substances adds biological water and earth, actively building the mass of kapha. This creates complex individual rules. For instance, the salty taste pacifies vata, but simultaneously generates both kapha and pitta. Every prescribed taste acts as a kinetic weapon. Correcting one dosha can mathematically aggravate another. While Vagbhata described the actions of the doshas, he did not explicitly state their inherent tastes. Himadri reverses the logic of like increases like to create a tool of biological inference. If sweet, sour, and salty foods increase kapha, it proves that the kapha dosha is fundamentally constructed from those same elemental architectures. Himadri cites sage Kapila to establish scriptural authority for this method of logical inference, or anumana. Clinicians evaluate these substances as raw elemental inputs, translating classical models into practical reality. This allows for a highly calculated diagnostic assessment in real time. A physician prescribing a bitter herb for a kapha-pitta pathology uses a predictable force to scrape tissue and quench fire, while simultaneously accounting for the rise in vata. Rasa is the immediate biokinetic interface between the external universe and human physiology. In this system, the clinical math must be exact.